Okay, I'm back with the craft of the crochet hook book by Flora Clickman. I'm dating this around 1918 into the 20s. That's our time frame. This is a second impression. Now, flipping through it, I saw some lovely lace patterns, but we've done that video. I wanted to recreate a lace collar because ever since I started crochet, I've seen gorgeous lace collars. Very exquisite designs, very intricate. You just dream of making something like that. These one day I'll come to as well because they are lovely. Yeah, so when I saw 3 designs in here, I said I must make one. This is the first design, and this is using a braid. It looks a tad phallic, but maybe that's what you're into. Second one is fully crochet. Lovely. And then the third one is using braid again. I think this is coronation braid. But alas, I do not have these 2 braids, so we go for this one. This is a child's collar, but I'm not planning on procreating anytime soon just to have something to crochet. So I had to upsize it and figure it out to not have these goddamn creases. Are you seeing this? I mean, how can you publish a collar? Just so poor. What this means is that the circumference is not correct. For the... Okay, we're going to call this the edging, the body, and the neckband. The neckband and body do not match up. You've got more stitches in the neckband. I'm getting a bit loud. More stitches in the neckband than you do the body. So when you work your stitches, of course it's not going to sit right. That's just stupid. And the tassels look moronic as well. I mean, if you hate your kid, I guess. But anyways, I had to fix that. It's not right. So I began working on it, and I will just show you the pattern before we begin, just so you can have it too. In the comments, I will put a link to an online version of this book. That one is an American publication. It was just same but in America, right? This one is a British one, I think in London as well. And then you should have the pattern digitally as well. If not, you can have these screenshots, and I have shown this book before as well. Anyways, this is also just closer up. Lovely filet crochet design, and it's all worked in one strip. All 7 of these triangles, one strip. And then you've got like a little uppercase I, lowercase I, uppercase, and just filet. You've got your picot edging up top, very delicate, very dainty. And then of course this lovely edging here. The main body, you have 1, 2, 3 points, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 are just interfered down the middle, so they're not pointy. I think that's pretty fun. Didn't want to do it. I think it's just much more organized if they're all symmetrical. This is for a child, bit of whimsy, bit of fun. I was making mine for an adult. Okay. You know what this is? The spine of the book. Ever since I bought it, it's been, a bit crude. The bottom too. I bought it from an online charity auction, so, anyway. Gonna keep it nice and safe, don't you worry. I've used my lace hook, which is a Millwood size 10, made in England, of course. And I think this was patented in 1921. So the book and the hook are authentic. I am not, and neither is my thread. This thread was from a charity shop. It was just a little bundle, I think, for $5. It is coats, 20 grams, mercerized cotton. We love Mercer. Made in Great Britain. It's this lovely lavender colour. And then inside it's just the dye lot and all of the boring stuff. I don't know if they're all the same dye lot, couldn't care less. I don't like coats, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't like coats, I don't like twillies, and I don't like Flora Clickman's patterns, the way they're written. And they're just Victorian patterns overall, but Anyway, you came to see the collar, and I will deliver. This is my final creation. This is what she's looking like. I did iron it, and I did not starch it because starching can bring bugs around. That basically makes your cotton into food for moths and all of that, so there's no need either. Coats is, as much as I hate crocheting with that cotton, it feels like you're crocheting with like textured, like pearly kind of cotton with like bubbles on it. Anyway, but afterwards when you wash and all of that, it gets nice and stiff and your stitches look nice and, you know. Anyway, here we have it, 2, 4, 6, 7 points, all symmetrical, all nice. And the person I was making it for, because in the original you saw, I might put the original in the corner so we don't forget. How about that? Okay, the original, this is the front. This is what it would be like. Kinda looks stupid, I'm not gonna lie to you. No adult should be wearing this. No, it's fine. If you made it yellow or something, you could be a little flower. Super cute. I mean, even for a kid, that would be adorable. But yeah, just, you know. So, the person I made it for wears brooches and little pins, you know, scarf pins and all of that. So we decided it's gonna be the front here, and then you can put a little brooch here, which unfortunately I don't have. But yeah, a little brooch here, and then it looks a bit nicer, you know. I tried to keep it as close to the original as I could. The main body, I was gonna say exactly the same first repeat of the points, exactly the same, and it works up pretty straight. So you're working up lace, which is straight, and then you cinch it in, which is lovely. I've never made a collar before, so I thought each of these triangles would be cinched in. That's why I assumed they would, you know, have a curve, you know, completely straight. And then you work your increases at the scallop every time. You're not working any increases down here. And if you're wondering how they work up, I'll show you from this one. You're working from this point when you begin, just on that bit, but this is neat to show. And then you're working it like this. All of my stitches are going up here. And they never stop going up. But when you turn it this way, do you get what I mean? It's sort of fun, sort of confusing. But yeah, you're constantly just working kind of as if you're reading. Because I hate laces where you have to break it off and do things, whatever. This is nicely organized. The body of this collar, if I can say that, it was lovely. No complaints there. But what I started to be a bit like hesitant is why I showed you the neckband. You can even see it from here. Major creasing. As you can see, my one, although I can't, you know, get myself organized, it's pretty circular. You don't need to crease it to pretend. And of course this was child size, and I don't need that many stitches on the neck. If I were working this many more, it would be too tight to the neck and not what my client wanted. By client, I mean a relative who loves me dearly enough to take this. And, you know, just a bit too heavy on the neck and all the stuff. We're thinking a black shirt underneath this, you know, same cut as this, just circular neckline. And then this over the top, little brooch, very nice and simple. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that was the vision. But when I got to the neckline, it was, what are they up to? No idea. I just took inspiration. I did do the picots as they wanted. That's just 5 chains. I think that's fabulous. And as they did it is as I did it. Where you have your little treble, that's where you do your picot. I think that's so neat and tidy. I think that's a nice little detail. But yeah, just simplified that and it came out a much nicer size, and you can adjust it to the neck a lot more. And then the edging, this is what I don't like about the patterns. The simple bit over explained. And then the bit where you kind of need more help, the edging, because if we just take a look at it again, you know, it's got some diversity. It's a few rows, you can see. We can focus up there. It starts off differently. It does, you know, a few different sizes, shapes. From looking, you could probably figure that out. Not me though. I don't know what's going on. I'm tired most of the time when I'm crocheting. It's late night, early morning. You know what I'm saying? Also, I didn't care for it that much. If it was a design which I'd be like, oh, then sure, but this is simple. It's supposed to be fun. My main sort of objective was to keep where the brooch is going to be as neat as it can be. Because this was where all of the knots are going, all of the weaving in. This is the beginning and end of every row. When I got to doing the edging, apart from one misfortune of my thread being knotted up and cut already by the manufacturer, it was just going in and around. I didn't want to cut it, so that kept it nice and neat. But that's my objective all the time with lace work. Keep it neat. You don't want any knots, so you always weave it in nicely and work over the ends, and you don't want any mistakes in your fillet or anything. It has to be pristine. Anyways, I kept the edging picots. I asked my client, you know, I don't know what they're doing with the edge, and especially that I did the neckline differently, they're counting it differently to here, they're doing different things. It's too much reading, you know? Anyways, they agreed. Picots finishes it off nicely because you need a little edging. Oh, it's not the right thing to say. You need a lace edging, you know? You need something to finish it off. Otherwise, it just never looks finished. It looks half-assed, you know? I did have a double crochet border around it, or American single crochet, but it doesn't do much for you. You look at it and you're like, that's it. Anyways, nice, neat, simple, and this will be the basis for more collars. If I can get braids, oh, that would be fabulous. I'm thinking like beads in here, but like large ones, or buttons, glass, and that would look lovely in metal. That's not something I could crochet, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think this was successful. I'll turn it around the way they have it. It's to what I wanted to achieve, because I've always had a problem with, you know, these authors, and even Victorian authors just before this. The simplest parts, they sort of over explain it, and then the bits where you need a bit more detail, because you can't just take it from eye as easily. Well, not if you're me. I'm a bit anal about it, so if it's not written down, I don't trust myself. That's why it gets difficult for me to do something simple, because then I think I'm such a loser. I did something simple. I can't even do maths. So I'd rather just die. Of course, I don't want to, but you know what I'm saying. It's just, if I can't produce something that's 100% perfect, and something that keeps me entertained, that I can be proud of, then why'd I bother? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of kept it simple just to not stress myself out anymore. But no, this is a good basis. I know what works now. I know that a closed off collar like this just doesn't look good. So something with a little brooch, a little button, delicioso. And then of course you can add beads instead of picots. Great alternative too. But yeah, I think this was a success. And now I know if I have any lace, which is sort of, you know, simple, because this is all it was. It sort of looks like bunting. So you have any lace that looks like that, you can cinch it in. Let's see, even something a bit like this, you could cinch that in. Filet crochet, of course, works anytime, but we're looking for something a bit more nuanced, I guess. Something like that could work. Cinch in. Lovely. Even that one. We just said that one. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I think this was super fun. I am bound to make more colors because I have more of this lovely thread. My hook's not worn out yet, so I must get back to work.